So I'm going to show you our version of low dye taping for the foot. This is really good for playing around with giving the arch some support for patients with plantar fascia or tibialis posterior strains. We just want to make sure that the foot's clean, there's no sweat on it. The first bit of tape, we're going to put some fixamil from the outside of that joint of the little toe to the bottom of the joint, the big toe. And that doesn't matter, we can start outside to inside or inside to outside. We're just going to, do you want to just bend that foot up for me, Jordan? Yeah. Wrap it around the back of the heel. And coming up to the big toe. So if that's not quite large enough for Jordan's feet, we can put an extra layer just over the top of it. And just make sure that's flat on the skin, that there's nothing raising up. Otherwise we might start to get some blisters. So this stuff's good for those patients that might be allergic to the rigid tape that we're about to use. And just patting that down. So then the second part of this taping is using some of the rigid tape. We've got the thicker rigid tape today, so 38 mil is probably what we'd usually use, but the thicker stuff's okay as well. And so to measure that out, we can actually just use the back side of the tape to make sure it's going to fit. We can either cut it first, or you can just apply it and rip it off. So from here, we're going from the inside of that big toe, and then just coming around to where we finished the tape here. And same thing again, we're going to paddle that down. So that's our anchor. And then from here, we're going to start just forward of the heel. And we're going to come from the outside of the foot and pull up on the arch. So pull up to the inside of the tape. And then we just overlap each little bit of tape by about a third or a half, pulling up. So we're coming down the foot. So this is also good to play around with, adding some arch support underneath the foot. Sometimes if we see if this works, in some patients we might suggest that they have a more permanent fix, being orthotics. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. The last thing that we want to do is lock all this off so all these little bits of tape don't start to lift. So we do that last anchor again, locking all those bits of tape down. So just applying it to the outside. We can put a bit of tape over the top of the foot as well. Sometimes this causes a bit of discomfort with people around the big toe, so if that's the case, you can leave that off. But this is the last little bit where we lock those little bits of tape down. Okay, so if Jordan, you want to stand up on that, that should feel pretty tight underneath your foot. Good. We just want to make sure that the tape doesn't lift off when Jordan stands up. All right.